Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, imagine dedicating months, perhaps even years of relentless effort toward a single goal. You plan your breakdowns carefully, practice consistently, and even sacrificing your own free time just to pursue your own success. You then visualize the moment of achievement and believe that your preparation is enough. Yet, when the results are finally announced, your expectations suddenly collapse. The outcome does not reflect your effort at all, and the positive for someone else, leaving you disappointed, in doubt, and with the massive strike of unanswered questions. The question is, what will you do? Will you just let yourself fall into the depths of regret? Or how about we take a different path? What if instead of telling yourself that you're not worthy, you acknowledge it? Sounds boring to you? Well, trust me, by doing this, you will never see how you will face them the same way again. What we're facing right now is considered failure that we must face. But before we go deeper, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Fatih Abdurrahman, representing from Imam An-Nawawi Integrated Junior High, and today I will be telling you about how important it is to learn from failure. But I'm not going to give you the list. I'm going to deliver most of this by telling you stories. Ladies and gentlemen, according to multiple sources researched by the University of Scranton, only about 8% of people around the world who set goals, such as New Year's resolutions, greatly achieve them, which means roughly 92% of the rest do not meet their goals, often because they stop trying after setback instead of giving a second try. This is where the trait learning from failure comes in. You see, from our perspective, we mostly see successful people talk about their stories of how they become successful. They also have their own obstacles blocking their way, but instead of ignoring them, they accept it, analyze it, learn from it, and persist despite it. Their success is not the absence of failure, but the result of how they respond to it. Take Thomas Alva Edison as an example. Despite him failing over 1,000 times in his experiments, all of those failed attempts made him view his unsuccessful experiments not as defeats, but rather as discoveries of methods that did not work. His vision allowed him to persist in developing his very own first light bulb. Here's another example from J.K. Rowling. In her very early attempts to publish her franchise, she faced numerous rejections from publishers. But instead of quitting, she listened to the critiques and continued refining her work and seeking opportunities, eventually publishing the well-known Harry Potter series. These two narratives illustrate that remarkable achievements by successful individuals often call countless failures, possibly thousands or even millions behind them. This raises us an essential question. How crucial is it to embrace one's most insignificant failures? Well, the answer is more profound than we might initially realize. Why, you might ask? Well, picture this as an example. Imagine if your very early attempts on everything work function follows in a first attempt, like making an ambitious program or something like that. But when a mistake strikes you, you became confused and not know what to do. Because true growth emerges from correction, and correction is born from mistakes. Sure, success makes us proud of ourselves, but failure is different. It teaches us to build our character and improve, specifically by reflecting on ourselves. However, learning from failure requires a huge amount of courage. It requires us to look at our shortcomings honestly. It demands that we rise after falling. It challenges us to try again and again, even when fear whispers that we should give up. But here's the truth. Every setback carries its own lesson. Every mistake contains guidance. And every failure holds the potential to shape a stronger version of ourselves. So, the next time you face disappointment, do not ask, why did I fail? Instead, convince yourself, What can this teach me? Because in the journey towards success, failure is not the enemy. It is a reminder to us that we have to be capable of accepting them and learn from them and not making the same mistakes ever again. Ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, the importance of learning from failure lies in its power to transform us. It strengthens our resilience and prepares us for greater achievements. When we embrace failure as part of growth, we no longer fear it, instead, we use it. To wrap all of this up, here's an authentic quote from the man John F. Kennedy himself in one of his speeches in 1966. Only those who dare to fail can ever achieve greatly. Well, that's all for me. Thank you for your listening and thank you for your attention. And sorry for any mistakes. And we end up with the closing. Wassalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.